The final week of the USL regular season comes to a head here as the Eastern Conference playoff standings get tighter and tighter. One team plays for a spot, the other one tries to play spoiler tonight as the New York Red Bulls 2 take on Penn FC on ESPN+. Good evening, everyone, and welcome out here to FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. Glad you could join us this evening. Tonight we've got a matchup between two teams who a little bit different trajectories right now. You've got Penn FC, who's trying to play spoiler. New York Red Bulls, too, right in the thick of things. But, Larry, this Penn FC team, tell me about the mindset of a team that's playing spoiler right now, doesn't have anything else to play for. What do they have to really do?
Well, sometimes, when you're playing as a spoiler, actually you play a lot more relaxed. So there's an opportunity for them to come out tonight and just perform, because some of you guys are playing for their jobs, auditioning for jobs in other teams, possibly going forward. So they have to perform, and they want to keep the Red Bulls out of the playoffs.
Well, let's take a look at the red line right now, right underneath the Red Bulls, because with 46 points, they are the last team into the field at this time. They want to improve that spot because you don't really necessarily want to go to FC Cincinnati right away. If they win tonight and North Carolina FC loses to Louisville City later on this evening, the Red Bulls are in automatically. So that's their thing to play for right now in the standings. As for Penn FC, they're not on that list. That's because their last home match will be Saturday, October the 13th, 7 o'clock, as they'll play out the string against Toronto FC2. We've got a couple guys to take a look at here tonight, though. A couple of dynamic players on each side. Let's start on the Red Bulls side of things. Number 74, his name is Tom Barlow.
Tom Barlow, St. Louis guy, happens to be my hometown. Played at Wisconsin, quality player. Again, auditioning for an opportunity to maybe get on after the 2 seasons over to get on the MLS top team.
He's coming off the bench tonight just like he did on Saturday when he scored the game-winning goal against North Carolina FC. As for Penn FC, Richard Menjivar has been that consistent guy, the leader all season long in assists, with 8 of them, had 2 of them in their victory, or check that, felt like a victory, but their tie on Wednesday night against the Charlotte Independents. Menjivar, the El Salvadorian, is a guy who really is the linchpin of this Penn FC attack. So, we've got a matchup coming up where the New York Red Bulls 2 have everything to play for, and Penn FC is trying to stop them. It's coming up next here on ESPN+.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Crooked Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Back at FNB Field, Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. We're getting set for Penn FC against Red Bulls 2. And here is the New York Red Bulls 2 starting lineup. Just 4 of the 11 that started on the game Saturday when they were able to beat North Carolina FC. See Jose Aguinaga, He is back after being red carded 2 games ago, and he is back in the starting lineup for the Red Bulls. For Penn FC, they'll throw out 6 of the 11 who played in the game against Charlotte last Wednesday, including Paulo Jr., Lucky Kasana, 2 of the danger men up top for Penn FC. There's your head coach for the Red Bulls, too. That is John Wolniak in his 4th year. Had a championship for this team back in 2016 when they beat Swope Park in the championship game. Also a storied playing career for New York Red Bulls, too. And on the bench for Penn FC, there is first-year head coach Raul Voss. The 34-year-old has piloted this team all season long. His first opportunity to be a head coach in the USL. We are underway here at FNB Field between Penn FC in the blue and the New York Red Bulls, too, in the white. Very young team, as you would expect, for the New York Red Bulls, too. Look all the way up and down this roster, not an age over 23 among them. For Penn FC, one of the more experienced teams age-wise in the league. All played long down the far side. A throw-in coming up for New York. Take a look at the earlier game between these 2 teams. They played back on August the 3rd. Red Bulls 2 was a 2-1 winner in that game. They scored 2 goals in the first half. Tenari and Barlow, the goal scorers in that one. And for them, both of those gentlemen are on the bench ready to come in to substitute at some point in the game if their number is called. For Penn FC, Lucky Kasana had the goal for them in that game. Penn FC with the ball right now. That's Jake Bond. As Penn FC will go with 3 in the back tonight in this formation. Lemma. It's over on the side, looking for Lucas Stauffer. Here's an opportunity for Red Bulls. Dispossessed the ball in the back nicely by Kyle Venter, who had a goal in that comeback tie for Penn FC against the Charlotte Independents. Ramirez chips it towards the box. Rosen making chase, but headed away by Jordan Scarlett instead. Still not out of danger. Here's Penn FC. Jake Bond is it centrally. Kasana tries to turn, nobody there. Goes harmlessly over the end for a goal kick. There is the former New York Cosmo, Lucky Kasana, and now you see Evan Loro, who is between the pipes tonight for the Red Bulls. Loro in his 2nd year with his team, a homegrown player for the Red Bulls, had 18 appearances a year ago for this side. We'll see his counterpart on the other side as Penn FC has decided to give a start tonight to Sean Lewis. It's his 8th start of the season for Loro. This is start number 26 for him on the campaign. Offside whistled against Red Bulls, too. Well, let's hop right into it, Larry. The big news here in Harrisburg is Penn FC announced earlier this week that they are going to cease operations in the USL for the 2019 season and then turn around in 2020 and drop down to League One. To be honest, probably a better fit for this team. Disappointing, though, and for the fans in this area that they're not going to have USL soccer in this immediate area next year.
Well, as a youth coach, Brian, I mean, I know, kids like to come down and they want something to emulate, so they like to come and watch guys play in person. And I, too, agree. It's a shame that we'll cease operations for next year. Now, maybe they need that year to regroup and potentially look for a more central location, something that's going to allow them to maybe clean things up and look back and see what did we do wrong, what did we do right. So, in all fairness, I mean, it may be a good thing, but and that year could fly by. But in the same token, I wonder what it does to the players that are currently here. They're eventually going to have to find new clubs. The employees are going to have to find new work. So what does that do? Is that a whole new slate when they come back? That would be my big question.
And this is a very experienced team. We talked about the age of some of these guys. And Ramu Pizer, who has started the majority of games in goals, 39. You've got Thiago Calvano at 35, one of their defenders who has been here. Several other players. Kasana is 31. Tommy Heineman is 31. Walter Ramirez is starting on the left side today is 34. This team, some of those guys may find it a little bit more difficult to latch on, and some of the younger guys are going to have to probably audition for somebody maybe the next 2 games will allow them to do that.
Well, you know, you said it best when you said that the New York Red Bulls' average age is 23 years old. You know, these are kids that are trying to get in the MLS. These are kids that are trying to, you know, start their career. So, you know, I actually like that idea, to be honest. You know, go with a younger roster. You could probably minimize some expense that way.
Here's an opportunity for the Red Bulls. Great save by Lewis as he was getting closed down by Brian White up front. White just didn't have enough room to pull the trigger on a good clean shot. Good pressure by Red Bulls too. It's a team that when they won the title a couple years ago in 2016, the hallmark of this team was just like their professional team in the MLS. High pressure, causing mistakes all over the ball, and man, the talent on that team, you're seeing a lot of it now at the MLS level for the parent club. Throw-in coming up on the far side for the Red Bulls. Comes into the box. Harry Hawkins, the Englishman, will head it away from Penn FC. Right back in. Hawkins over to the side, flicked up in the air and out by Penn FC. There's Venter. Some aerial challenges back and forth. Achieving, at this point, no advantage until now when Paulo Jr. has been set free on this right side. Has the ball nip his left arm, which he's called for handling. Paulo Jr., a guy who, as Penn FC attempted to make a little bit of a run towards the end of the season, was a late acquisition for this team. The Brazilian making his 16th start of the year, 4 goals and 1 assist for him. And one stretch when Kasana had been struggling a bit, he was the team's most dangerous attack player. Laura will take this free kick all the way down the Penn FC end, and it's going to go over the end line for a goal kick for Penn FC. And even though these two teams have seen each other back on August 3rd, it's been quite some time and a lot of games since that time, Larry. So you got to feel this is probably one of those feeling out periods where the team's trying to get used to what each other's going to do.
Absolutely. I mean, every restart, look at how everybody's bunching up in a certain part of the pitch, and they're going with a long ball and looking for a skim. They're looking for something to get flicked on in behind. I mean, it's neither team is really looking to stretch one another out at this point in time. You're right. It's an absolute feeling out point at this point.
Ramirez got the ball from Sal Barone. Barone making just his 5th start of the season, gets the start over there at left wing today. Penn FC will roll with primarily a 3-4-3 formation is what they have set up. Ramirez at left forward position, drops it to Barone. There's Menjivar. We talked about him in the pregame. The steadiest player on this team all season long. Paulo Jr.'s ball is deflected across the middle, cleaned up nicely and played out by Stauffer. So throw-in coming up for Penn FC on the far side. 7.5 minutes in, still no score between Penn FC and New York Red Bulls 2. FC with it on the left side. Deflection close to the sideline. We'll see who gets it. It's going to be last touch by Penn FC. The throwing comes in for the Red Bulls. FC trying to keep them in their own territory, cannot do so. Venter heads it back a little sloppily, but it does get all the way back to Lewis. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Kasana once again unable to get a good touch in the box. So it's the Red Bulls who will push this one up. Their head coach, John Wolniak, a guy who has seen a lot in his time. MLS experience playing with Chicago Fire, New England Revolution. He was back with the Metro Stars before New York got the Red Bulls.
Yeah, it's been some time.
Exactly. Columbus Crew, LA Galaxy, and then he ended his professional career with the New York Red Bulls. And he's also the answer to this trivia question. It's timely because Thierry Henry just was named manager of Monaco over in, the ball goes back to Lewis. Thierry Henry was named manager at Monaco over in the French league, who was released by New York Red Bulls when they signed Thierry Henry. It was John Wozniak. And that was when he decided at that point to go into coaching. So he announced his retirement shortly after that, and since that time has done a tremendous job of developing the youth of this New York Red Bulls franchise.
You know, it's interesting, you know, Brian, because not every real good quality player translates into a good coach. A lot of times they don't want to put the hard work into developing players, even though at 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, there are still deficiencies, technical deficiencies there may be. And if you're willing to put that work into it after being a former professional player, a quality professional player, you know, you're going to get great dividends from that. And, you know, John has certainly done that within this organization. And when you're willing to do that, then you're also going to provide players in home for the MLS program, so they're not out buying players.
Paulo Jr. is able to win what looks like a corner kick for Penn FC. First one of the match for the home team, and Menjivar will go over. The right foot is his preferred, so it'll be an outswinger towards the box. Has four guys up there. Hawkins and Venter, very dangerous from the back, but he plays it short, nobody there. And now an opportunity for Paulo Jr. from distance. Tries to crack one, doesn't get all of it, and is wide of the mark. It was deflected, though. It's going to be another corner coming up for Penn FC. So Menjivar can get a little bit better service this time. He's got Bond, Kasana, Hawkins, and Venter up there approaching the penalty spot. One more opportunity on the outswinger here from Menjivar as we enter the 12th minute of play. Still scoreless here. Penn FC trying to get on the board first. Ball played backside. Headed clear. Paulo Jr. steps inside. Can't get all of that one either. Heads it to the side. Here's Menjivar again trying to keep the attack in the offensive third for Penn FC. Ball to Kasana. Drops it back. Menjivar. Cross, well wide, goal kick for the Red Bulls. Menjivar, and deservedly so tonight, wearing the captain's armband, considering, I'm not mistaken, this may be the first time he's worn the armband. Many times it has been Ken Tribbett, it's been Thiago Calvano, it's also been Kyle Venter a few times, but it's the first time I can remember seeing Richie Menjivar with that. His 30th start of the season to lead all Penn FC players. That ball is going to be a throw-in coming up for the Red Bulls. They also are incorporating three forwards into the attack. Throwing to one of them. That is Aganaga. He gets it back. A dangerous player, toes it towards. No one making a central run, though. The Spaniard comes up empty with his attempt up the middle. Flick from Paulo Jr. does not find Calvin Resend. Instead finds a sideline for a throw. The Red Bulls drop back to their own end. They win the ball. Good step to the inside. Menjivar not called for the foul. Clash there with Christian Caceres Jr. Scarlett will play it all the way back to his keeper. And ball played up. Not a ton of size over there for Sal Barone, so he undercuts his man and is able to get the ball in Penn FC's possession, so the throw-in comes up for the home team. Our officials tonight, our referee is Marcos de Oliveira. The two linesmen, assistant ARs are Joe Zawastowski and Katarzyna Wozniak. The fourth official tonight is Ariel Rabin. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. The penultimate game here for Penn FC and for New York Red Bulls 2 in the 2018 regular season of USL Soccer. One team will not play on. The other one with the opportunity but has not locked up a playoff spot yet, that being the Red Bulls on the road. One other thing that really jumps out at you, Larry, too, and maybe not surprising with the young teams. Here's Kasana. Talk about that in just a second. Ramirez plays a central ball, easy interception from Scarlett. This young Red Bulls team on the season, 11-8-13 overall, but on the road, just one win in 16 matches. 1-5, they've drawn 10 times on the road. Here's an opportunity for them. Ball played by Chris Lemma. There's going to be a corner kick coming up. Ball last touched by Kyle Venter. So it will be Lemma to take this one. Lemma in his first year out of Georgetown University. Played 3 years with the Red Bulls U23 program before getting the opportunity to sign here with Red Bulls 2. 4 assists on the season. That ball played into the mix. Penn FC able to get it out to a more neutral position. Danger not completely cleared yet, though. There's Lemma down here the near side. Caceres looking for a runner, finds one. It's Stroud who got a touch to it. Check that, that was Aganaga who got a touch to that one, but not enough to put it past Sean Lewis. Quickly, Penn FC looking to counter. Bond for Paulo Jr., too much on that one. So we're now seeing, Larry, this Red Bulls 2 team starting to get a few more forays up into the offensive end, and with their youth and speed, they can be very dangerous in numbers.
Well, to your point about why they're drawing so many matches on the road, I mean, if their play is indicative of what we've seen thus far this game, they do stay pretty compact. They really don't stretch the game out all that much. They're looking for a lot of direct balls, and they're doing well. They're getting all the numbers back. If you notice in the corner kick early on for Penn FC, they had all their players inside the 18. So they're obviously not in a position to want to give up goals, but they don't look like they take a tremendous amount of risk either. So
here's a chance for Stroud to flip it up and over, and it goes in. Wow.
As I say that.
Just like that, Jared Stroud sneaks in behind, and the 22-year-old has his 6th goal of the season, but they're going to talk right now because Penn FC is up in arms here in the 17th minute. They think it's offside, and they have not completely determined yet, as you've got Marcos de Oliveira over there with Joe Zawistowski. They will determine the fate of both of these teams on this potential goal. Still talking, still talking. They do not have the use of replay. And offside, I believe, is the call. Let's take a look at it, and we can see Stroud is behind everybody else. The question is who played that ball back.
That looked like a skim off Penn FC to me.
It is a fortunate thing for the home team. We will have to look back at that one as a key point in this game. Jared Stroud looked like he had a goal, and instead in the 17th minute, it's determined to be offside after a referee conference, and it remains scoreless.
And to my point, Brian, what I was trying to say to you was that they really haven't opened up the floor very much. It's been fairly compact, somewhat direct, obviously on the road, but they're also playing for their playoff lives. You said it best. Do they want to play against FC Cincinnati right out of the gate? Could they possibly move up a spot or two to avoid having to play the #1 team? And give them some longer life inside the playoffs. So, to me, playing this tight and this compact, it's a fairly, well, to me, it's not a way to really get a result, personally.
It's a safer thing, but
Very
not
much.
one to try to get 3 points. Is there trying to nick something out here in this game and maybe just get a point, maybe try to sneak in and get maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to be able to get all 3. They finish up on Sunday, which is actually an advantage for them. They get to find out what some of the other teams will do and where they will stand. But their matchup is against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, a team that is currently 3rd in the standings of the Eastern Conference.
That's a team that's coached by Bob Lilly, Mark Pulisic, very well-organized team that will give them all kind of fits.
There's one thing that every Bob Lilly team is It is defensively strong.
Very much so.
And a team that nobody in the playoffs wants to see on the other side, because they're going to know how hard they're going to have to work to try to break down that defense.
Very much so. Bob is very organized. Obviously, the combination of him and Mark, I think, are just such a dynamic combination, one of which has an offensive mindset and Bob more of a defensive mindset. So that's a very good blend. And, of course, look where Pittsburgh's at this year.
Best Riverhounds team that they've had in quite some time. Ball flipped on the outside. Opportunity here. Towed towards Lewis. He comes out but doesn't get all of it. And Venter cleans it up nicely from the center back position. Casano went down in a heap in the middle of the field. Nobody saw what happened as Jordan Scarlett, who was around him when it happened, comes back to get the ball, and they're going to have to take a look at the Zimbabwean. Lucky Kasana. Take a look at the top right corner, we're told by our, and that is an extended arm that time by number 35, Jordan Scarlett, that it was not seen or not considered to be enough, and Casano went down in a heap at midfield. That was away from the ball as both players were looking to try to get better position with the ball coming from the back. Casano, the last 3 years with the New York Cosmos, had 11 goals with them. He's matched that in 1 year here with Penn FC. He was with Harrisburg before that when they were the City Islanders back in 2012, 2013, had 20 goals then. Here's the thing about Lucky that people don't know. He's a Dartmouth grad.
Is that
He's
right?
An Ivy Leaguer.
I'll be darned.
All-time leading scorer for them with 34 goals in his career collegiately.
Very interesting. I certainly remember him playing for the Harrisburg City Islanders, back in the day. So it's nice to see him back here with Penn FC, especially playing back here on the island again.
He's not the only Ivy Leaguer who's here today. Andrew Teneri, who's on the substitute bench for the New York Red Bulls too, is a Columbia University product.
I did not know that. Very interesting.
So there's going to be a throw-in coming up for the Red Bulls too. There you see Raul Voss, German background with Hoffenheim, and cut his teeth coaching. Opportunity here. That's well offside though for the Red Bulls. Voss was an assistant for 4 years with Fort Lauderdale, and then the last 2 years assisted with the Tampa Bay Rowdies before getting the head job here at Penn FC. You see once again, easy call for everybody in blue, and they always look over to the side, praying that the guy in yellow also has the same opinion, and he does on that play.
Brian, Fort Lauderdale has one of the best stadiums in, used to be one of the old NASL, especially, and then ASL. They were well known for the most amazing sunset at game time.
An opportunity here. Hawkins and Venter do a good job of squeezing off Brian White in the middle. The Red Bulls have had the better of the opportunities here in the last 5 minutes or so. Now once again they'll try to find White on the backside. Jake Bond is there. Penn FC counter here with Resend. Flicks it towards the middle. Central run made by Paulo Jr. and cleared away nicely by Chris Lemma. So it's going to be a throw-in, I believe, from Penn FC. Check that. It'll go all the way over for a corner kick. So corner kick number 3 of the first half coming up for Penn FC. Hey, the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Benjabar taking his time getting up there. Casano's back on the pitch after coming off just briefly, being shaken up. So it will be Benjabar once again here to this near corner with the outswinger. Headed back to him by the Red Bulls. Benjabar tries to send again into the mix, this time a throw-in, as the Red Bulls were able to knock that back out of play to the near side. Good job by Caceres of not allowing that one to go out of play over the end line. So Bond will throw in. The turn, opportunity, Menjivar in the box, looking for Paulo Jr., slips by him. White the other way, and from behind, Lemma gets bumped, and the advantage is not enough of one, so it will be the Red Bulls who will get the restart. Still scoreless. Penn FC, New York Red Bulls 2. A game where there definitely are going to be some other eyes around the USL Eastern Conference paying attention to this one, with the Red Bulls 2 being in the number 8 hole right now. A win for them tonight and a loss from North Carolina FC locks up their place in the postseason. Here's Ramirez, a chance, Jaime, goal! Penn FC! They're on top first. Miguel Jaime, his second goal of the season on the assist from Walter Ramirez. And in the 25th minute, it's the spoiler who's on top 1-0.
What a great goal, Brian. They swing the ball out wide, swing it back to the back post. Doesn't get fancy inside the foot, tucks it in the back post. Clinical.
And for Miguel Jaime, in his first year with his team, the second Colorado Rush Academy player to sign with this Penn FC team, his second goal of the season. 15th start of the year for 5'8", 22-year-old Miguel Jaime, who has put Penn FC on top 1-0. Now will that change the pace of play for the Red Bulls? They find themselves behind. White plays it centrally, looking for Aganaga. And it's sent out of there by Sean Lewis of Penn FC. All played long. Looking to find an on-rushing Stroud, who went down hard. And he looks like he's okay. That's one of those times it's kind of nice to be just 22 years old. Because I know I'm not getting up right away after that one.
I cringed.
So the repair is not for Stroud right now. It's to the billboarding on the side. And right behind that is a metal bar, which Stroud just avoided making full contact with. Otherwise, I don't think he would have gotten up as quickly.
Well, not to mention, he went right off the back end of the Dimetap, which is also very sharp. That stuff that's on a baseball pitch is very sharp.
Brown's crew has done a nice job of really keeping this pitch in the condition that it is, considering the wear and the weather that we've had here on City Island this season. Actually, right now, the pitch looks about as good as it's been this entire road trip, or this entire homestand for Penn FC.
I think FNB Park, the crew here does an amazing job with the grass, and it does look fantastic.
Jaime, the goal scorer, plays it back to Hawkins. Penn FC with the 1-0 lead. Just a few moments ago, Miguel Jaime from Walter Ramirez, a slip by Stroud, allows Bond now to head it to Casana. Resend back to Casana. Lucky will turn. Some fancy footwork in the middle, and now gets it wide to Barone. Ramirez. Ball played back down. Resend is onside on the left. Toes it towards the middle. Scarlett slips as he goes after that one. Gave Penn FC another opportunity, but Stroud will bring it the other way. Ball hit, and that deflects all the way back to Lewis. For a moment, that's dangerous.
It sure did. It sure did.
Sean Lewis able to go back there and get it for Penn FC. Sean Lewis in his second year. He was with the City Islanders a year ago. 6 starts, 2 clean sheets a year ago. Has had a few more starts this year. Same number of clean sheets in his 8 starts this season. Stroud cuts to the inside. Gets around 3 Penn FC players. That means somebody's open on the opposite side. On rushing is Stauffer. Tries to play it down towards the byline, and instead it goes well over there with a poor touch. And a goal kick. You're wondering about this New York Red Bulls team and how many goals they score and allow. This is not unlike them to give up goals. They average giving up 1.78 per game, 57 on the season. Their head coach, John Wolniak, has been able to allow his team to counter that because they score goals a lot. 66 of them on the year, over 2 of them per contest for the Red Bulls 2 this year. Here's a chance again. Resend trying to sneak through. Paulo Jr. His blast blocked by Scarlett. Ball in the center circle. Jaime Lemmy flicks it up. Kasana had stopped his run, trying to muscle with Scarlett. Kasana gets to it and is only able to head it to Laura, who makes the save. Once again, Lucky Kasana showing his value in the center forward position for Penn FC. Tied for 20th overall in the USL this season in terms of goal scoring. Ball headed by the Red Bulls over the far sideline for a throw-in for Penn FC. The 2018 USL Cup playoffs kick off next week. So stay up to date with matchups, brackets, kickoff times, key storylines, and much more starting on Monday at USLsoccer.com. We are fully into that part of the season where every single game seems to matter in terms of putting somebody in a different position, changing up those matchups. Some teams have already qualified, some have not. This New York Red Bulls 2 team is one of them that is still trying to punch their ticket. In the East right now, it's FC Cincinnati who has clinched the top seed overall. We have Louisville City, who's playing tonight against North Carolina FC, who's in the number 2 spot. We're going to have an offside called against Kasana, as he came back from an offside position. Riverhounds are in 3rd. In 4th, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, locked into the 4 position right now is the Charleston Battery. They have they're not quite locked in yet. But they're in the 4th position, look to probably stay there. Ball headed forward. Hawkins is able to play it away from Lemma, who now chases in the corner. Barone pressuring. Ramirez helps out and forces it over the end line for a corner kick for New York Red Bulls. Teams that are chasing right now who have not locked up a playoff spot. Indy 11 is in the 5-hole with 49 points. Bethlehem Steel and Nashville SC 47 apiece in 6 and 7. Red Bulls 1 point behind them at 46. Ottawa is at 45. North Carolina FC is at 44. In swing, goal! And just like that, it is equalized. A great job of positioning himself that time, and I believe that's the man who had one before and gets it back. That's Jared Stroud.
What a great goal. You're going to see a ball whipped in here hard with his left foot. Just a little skim header right over the top of the goalkeeper right here. Great ball in, great finish.
And watch in front as he's bodying up Resend, gets position. Lewis is not able to get past him and just elevates in time to flick that over the helpless keeper. So we are now equalized at 1 as Jared Stroud off the corner kick. Great assist that time. I believe it was Caceres. We'll double check on that assist. Because that was a tremendous ball played in, exactly pinpointed where they were looking for it. That has gotten the Red Bulls equal with Penn FC. Ball headed all the way back. Sean Lewis, who has lost this opportunity for a clean sheet, now will look to try to get a win out of this game. Going to need another goal from his mate somewhere in order to do that.
You know, that's back to that goal, Brian. It's a tremendous ball that was whipped in there with pace. And anytime you put a ball in there with pace, it can actually freeze your defenders, freeze your goalkeeper. And that ball was inside the 6. To me, that's a goalkeeper's ball to come out and punch. But he did come in with so much pace, it almost froze him to the point where should I not go? The minute you make that decision to freeze, you're done.
Paulo Jr. put a little bit of mustard on that shot. And Nico De Vera was able to deflect it, keep it from the goal. But the 4th corner kick of the game for Penn FC. Benjabar again to this near corner. This one comes out more centrally to Paulo Jr. He'll send it back into the mix. Hawkins will head it to the wide side, and it will go wide of the mark. A different idea that time from Penn FC off the set piece.
There's nothing wrong with mixing things up, and I don't necessarily dislike that. But if you're going to try to head a ball from the top of the box, that's going to be an awful challenging ball, you know, unless that ball is coming in with serious pace to beat a goalkeeper at this level.
All played up. Penn FC misjudges it and allows the Red Bulls to play this one. Aganaga. Ball stuck in his feet for a moment, now plays it far post. Too much on that one. He's looking for Lucas Stauffer on that far side.
It's a good look. It's a bit of a teasing ball that he plays in front. I think maybe, like you said, he's got it tied up a little bit between his feet. Just couldn't get it out enough to really get the type of ball he wanted. But it was a bit of a teaser for the keeper not to come. But again, you know, the Red Bulls are putting a little bit of pressure on Penn FC. They're certainly not settling in tonight for a 1-1 draw.
I have a feeling we're going to see a few more goals in this one. Just how these two teams have played lately. Penn FC has given up 2 or more goals in all 4 of their last games. And now here's another chance for the Red Bulls. Venter. Bond is able to get that one out over the end. And another great opportunity that time. As we're going to see a great rush this time from Caceres. Trying to find White on the backside, and Bond is the guy who's able to get back. At numbers, though, Larry, it was a great opportunity.
Absolutely. I mean, it's getting a little dangerous. They're playing around with numbers in the back like that. I mean, Penn FC's got to do a better job of getting back.
The ball sent in the box. Kasana, all the way from the striker position, comes up and heads that one out of danger. Played all the way back to the center circle. By the way, it was Lemma on the assist on the goal by Stroud. So the goals by Jaime and by Stroud, and Stroud on the ball again for the Red Bulls. Venter can get a foot to it. Bond does well to get to it, but slips going back to it and can only tow it over the near sideline. Will be a throw-in coming up for the Red Bulls. Jared Stroud, the goal scorer, thought about throwing that one in his first year. Had a hat trick versus Richmond for his high mark of the season back on July the 13th. Almost gets another opportunity there. Here's Lemma. Into the box he goes. Stroud trying to work around Venter, and Venter wins that battle. Lewis at least chips it to the near side to relieve pressure for a moment here in the 37th minute.
You know, you mentioned Richmond, Brian. Richmond's one of the clubs that are going down to the next level next year.
They are indeed, and as is Toronto FC too.
Toronto FC too, okay.
What you're seeing right now, I don't know that it's a coincidence, but 3 of the teams that have decided to go down are teams that are below the playoff line and have already been eliminated going into this last weekend.
It is interesting. Richmond is just a club that's got such a history in the USL.
You think about this, Larry, you've got Richmond going down, Rochester with a tremendous history as well, lost their franchise. What we're seeing is the explosion of the even bigger cities in soccer. Everyone wanting to get a piece right now of soccer in this country. Here's an opportunity on the backside. Ramirez cannot keep his man out for the entirety. Is that a Stauffer who's fighting him with the ball, is able to get the ball out, ball chipped to the middle. Here's an opportunity and a nicely timed jump in front by Jaime, because it was Brian White cutting towards who had a chance to knock that one in potentially, and Jaime will give up the corner instead.
It's a good battle here back in the 18, but again, a little chip ball in. Oh, excellent defensive header.
Once again, it'll be Lemma on the far side. A lot of bodies in there, and again, it's Stroud right in front of the keeper. He'll go near post. Kasana nods at far post. And here comes Paulo Jr. to wisely win a throw-in. So that will allow Penn FC to get their shape back as we go into the 39th minute of play here in the first half. 1-1 our score. Penn FC, New York Red Bulls 2.
Brian, 2 good defensive clearances by Kasana. Comes back and does it at both ends. A lot of work tonight for that young man.
I think a lot of the Red Bulls 2 players would disagree with you when you say young man about him, since he's 8 years older than any of the players.
Young man to me. Okay, maybe I cut that off a little bit.
But I mean, it just shows you how youthful this Red Bulls 2 squad is. A true developmental team for their parent club. And a ton of talent on this side, and an opportunity here. White tries to play it low, and it is wide of the mark to the near post.
Actually, you don't see that very often, but I got to be honest, brings a ball right down on the top of the 18. tremendous composure. You're going to see him bring this ball down right here, sits it down, and doesn't hit it hard, just goes for the placement to the back post, just misses the mark. And he uses the defenders as decoys in front of him. Excellent play. You don't see that very often from a 23-year-old.
So it's going to be Sean Lewis to boot this one away. Goal kick goes into the Red Bulls half. Son Nadam was fouled on that one. And I believe we're going to have a card shown to Calvin Resent. And Nadam has not gotten up.
And I'd like to see that again. It looked to me like it was a 50-50 challenge, but the two of them went in at it.
Interesting thing here, too. The Red Bulls, too, are a team that the last 2 games have had somebody sent off with a red card. It's a late challenge, and I think a deserved yellow.
Understood, it's a late challenge, but I think he was kind of trying to duck himself out of that. But, you know, and I don't mean to cut you off on that one, Brian, but just in the sake of cards just in general, the game itself has gotten to the point where we are not letting the players play as much as players used to play. And right there, I don't know what you're fighting for your life. You're trying to win a ball. You're trying to score a goal. You didn't see him go high with his foot. He went in. The foot was just about maybe waist high, but it looked to me like it was more upper body that hit him, and he even tried to pull himself out of it. That's my concern.
And I think the other thing is when the player goes down, it's a reactionary card maybe more than anything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. And I think that, to me, because of the reaction of the players, it's rolling on the ground. But look where he's at now.
He's fine.
Absolutely.
Right back out there.
And that's my frustration. I mean, where soccer, sometimes it's kind of turned into that. It's, you know, that's where, and I do this for a living, but this is where soccer gets a bad name. Players flopping on the ground. Whether he flopped or not, he's up playing now.
The Red Bulls, too, have had red cards in their last 2 contests. Penn FC, on the other hand, is the only team in the entire USL, Eastern or Western Conference, that has not had a player red carded this season.
It's impressive.
It is.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And as we are noted in our truck right now, the jinx is now on. So, but it's something that, you know.
I thought that was a voice in my head, so that was the truck.
That was the truck. And here's an opportunity. A shot. Just wide. A great opportunity goes awry for Jose Aguinaga.
Again, you're going to see tremendous composure here. Once again, gets inside the 18. These are young players that we're seeing with the ball at their feet, not trying to crush the ball, although he tries to hook the ball to the near post. Good cut, reverse ball right here.
There's Aguinaga, number 89, stops, fires. As you see, wide of the mark. He's a young player who came up through the Spanish system. As he is Spanish. Rayo Vallecano, Real Madrid, Getafe, youth systems, all were his growing up stages of soccer. Ended up being a 4th-round pick of the Red Bulls in this year's Super Draft, and has been able to blossom with this Red Bulls 2 team.
Now I have a stat for you, Brian, and maybe we need to look this up at halftime. How many of these guys have gotten pulled in to the MLS side that have gotten any minutes or at least time to sit on the bench?
There have been some. I'll look at the best as I can of what I have with that.
I'm just curious, only because at 23, what an opportunity that would be to have those moments to sit in at Red Bull Arena with the main team.
I don't know that Aguinaga has suited up with them. Mm-hmm. There are a few of these players who have played a few games this season, and there have been some other players who have been down with this Red Bulls 2 team at times this season who have now moved up to the upper squad. Derek Etienne is one of those players who played a few minutes this year, was one of the mainstays of that 2016 championship team, and just talent oozes from that young man. There are several players who have seen time for this Red Bulls 2 team at the upper level.
So all the more reason, as we said earlier, to audition, to continually play. You know, obviously these guys are trying to get into a better seed of the playoffs, but they have an opportunity of looking, as is Penn FC as well, to get those moments in the MLS. And I'm sure every one of these young men here are hoping for those opportunities.
We're approaching the final minute of regulation here in the first half. An opportunity on the backside. Lewis cuts in front of White and will quickly look to counter. Trying to spring Paulo Jr. on the right side. He let it touch, and that was his mistake. He had to look up and find the ball and was not able to push the ball forward. So the throw-in comes up, Red Bulls 2. Would expect maybe a minute or two of stoppage at most here in the first. Poor throw and a poor response. Paulo Jr. will win the corner as a result, as DeVera's throw-in sort of caught Stroud a little bit off, was not able to play the ball solidly back, and allowed Paulo Jr., who has been a menace over here on this right flank, to get in the way. So here's another chance for Penn FC. Fifth corner of the first half. And it is Menjivar once again with the outswinger. His players in the box looking backside this time. Headed away by Red Bulls 2. Ramirez will chip it right back in. White clears. Hawkins gets it wide to Paulo Jr. We look for the fourth official in just a moment. We can do that calmly now, as there will be 1 minute of stoppage time added to the end of this half. It will be another corner kick. They play it quickly. Paulo Jr., low driving ball into the box. Played all the way out to Barone at midfield. Barone steps around. He's going to take one from distance. Deflected again. Another chance for a corner kick for Penn FC, as it looked like it hit Scarlett on the way by.
Love the attitude. I mean, very composed on the ball. Looked like he was going to swing a ball out to the left. Little cut to the inside. Steps in about 2 or 3 steps, as you're going to see here. Nice and smooth. Lines it up on his left and lets it go. Gets the deflection. That could easily deflect in the net as well, Brian.
Just the 9th appearance of the year for Sal Barone, after playing just 1 game for the Newark Cosmos a year ago. Here's a ball and a dangerous one in the box that is won in the air by Nadam. That'll be the final whistle here in the first half. Our score after 1 half of play, it's Penn FC 1, Newark Red Bulls 2, 1. Back with a halftime show after this here on ESPN+.
Crooked Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Back at FNB Field, Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. We'll throw it down to the third member of our team. Brandon Morey has Penn FC's head coach Raul Voss.
Thank you, gentlemen. Coach Voss, what do you think about the way your team performed there in the first half?
Yeah, I wasn't really happy for certain reasons. We didn't win a lot of second balls, especially in the middle. A lot of one-on-one battles we lost, and then we had quite some too many individual mistakes. Mostly because of not really focused, so I'm not really happy about that. I think we really gotta make sure we switch that for the second half.
A nice little bit of interplay there with Walter Ramirez with the assist to Miguel. What do you want to see? How do you execute to see more of that in the second half?
Yeah, we know they've committed so many players forward, so there's space when we win the ball, and then we got to do it like we just did when we scored the goal. So there is space, they commit so many players, so in transition, that's really where it can hurt this team.
Thanks. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Penn FC's Mauro Estacrio out for the season very early due to injury. Let's go to more of his rehab. We've been following him along the way, and here's more of that right now.
So my daily routine as of right now is a little bit calmer, not much, but a couple weeks ago I'd wake up at 7, have breakfast, I'd have to be here in the clinic by 8 a.m. I do, I would say, between 3 or 4 hours of therapy, between massage and doing my exercises, you know, resting, doing boots, and the recovery process that we start here too. After those, I'll normally have lunch and rest for a bit and then hit the gym, where I do, you know, a little bit more upper body, including some lower body exercises. The days that I don't go to the gym, we have pool sessions in which we, here with the clinic at PhysioClem, we go to the local pools, and there's a therapist there that takes care of us and, you know, gives us all these exercises to get the progress going. Best part about being in Portugal for the process is, you know, is being home. Obviously, I got the help here from everybody, which is nice, and obviously I'm home. But I think it's going home and knowing that, you know, my family and friends are there. There's no better dish than your mom's dish, right? So coming home after a tiring day, tiring morning, I get to go home, I get to rest. I got my family there where I could just, you know, hang out, and the mental side of it is where it gives me the strength. You know, during a long time, I was bummed out, obviously because it's a bad injury. You don't know how your body's going to accept it, how long it's going to be for you to recover. So, you know, when I go back home, I try to take the injury out of my head and, you know, just enjoy that time, you know, recharge my batteries so the next day I go at it again.
(1-1) Penn FC, New York Red Bulls 2 at the half. Big game for the Red Bulls 2 especially. And right now there's a lot of big things happening in the USL. Let's find out more of them right now. Back here at FNB Field at halftime, 1-1 is our score between Penn FC and the New York Red Bulls 2. Let's take a look at our team of the week in the USL for the past week, week 31. Congratulations, player of the week was Romario Williams from the Atlanta United 2, and also you take a look down there, Hassam Nadah of New York Red Bulls 2. He's a birthday boy today. He's turned 20 years old, and he's also on the team of the week for his performance last week for New York. Some news around the league. Golden Boot and also the Golden Glove races down to the wire right now. Cameron Lancaster, 22 goals. He's got a 3-goal advantage. Thomas Emelson has 19, who is trailing him. As far as the Golden Gloves, Dan Lind for Pittsburgh Riverhounds is currently in the league with Matt Pickens. Following him, Evan Newton, all very close. Tiebreaker to that ends up being clean sheets. And the other thing is really important. 6 teams fighting for the final 4 spots in the East. 3 teams remain alive in the West for 2 spots. We don't know how close it is. 6th through 11th right now in the East. Change at any point right now. 5 points separates those 6th and 11th place positions. So anything could happen, but there's not many games to do that in the West. 7th place through 9th place separated by 1 point right now. So you're looking at a lot of teams that are chewing those fingernails at this point, looking at other results, and that's why I'm sure we have lots of eyes on this one here tonight because of that in this matchup. USL is rebranding, as you already saw. USL Championship is going to be that top level, the pinnacle of the USL, the ultimate goal for players, coaches, fans, and communities. USL League One, and that's the league that Penn FC will be dropping into, not in 2019 when they debut next year, but in 2020, that's when Penn FC will join them, and that's offering players a chance to compete in pro soccer and try to move their way up. And USL League Two, which is currently called the PDL, that USL League Two, 70% of the MLS draftees played there at one point. A lot of these New York Red Bulls 2 players played with the New York Red Bulls U23s in that league and some of the other teams. So that entire rebranding is pretty wild. We take a look at the standings right now in the Eastern Conference. And Larry, Indy 11 is not safe, and teams that really are not safe right now, Bethlehem Steel, Nashville, the Red Bulls. When you look below the line, though, Charlotte Independence have been eliminated. Ottawa has 1 game remaining, which is their problem. North Carolina FC has 2, but one of them tonight against Louisville City. If they don't get points tonight in that game, that puts them against the wall as well. So the teams ahead of them definitely in the driver's seat with a game left. And right now you see right now the out-of-town scores in the Eastern Conference. Our game here is 1-1. Louisville City, North Carolina FC started half an hour after us. They're currently scoreless. Nashville SC will try to lock up a playoff spot later on tonight against Toronto FC at 8:30. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with stats and highlights from the first half of this 1-1 draw between Penn FC and New York Red Bulls 2. That's our halftime score. Back after this on ESPN+.
Across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
1-1 our score. Penn FC, New York Red Bulls 2. A game that is pivotal for the Red Bulls 2 to try to continue their push. But it was Penn FC who got on the board first. Walter Ramirez finding Miguel Jaime for his second goal of the season. And just like that, Penn FC in the 25th minute had the 1-0 advantage. But the Red Bulls 2 would counter. And Jared Stroud, who had a goal disallowed on an offside in the 17th minute, ends up getting one back in the 32nd minute on a great corner there, Larry.
Great corner. I mean, he whips it in, a lot of pace on it. All he has to do is deflect it. Once again, I do believe the goalkeeper needs to leave his line on that one, Brian, and come out with a double-fisted punch. No doubt in my mind. Needless to say, great corner, great goal.
1 goal each. Shots, Penn FC. Few more of them. They've had a few more corner kicks, and they've had more of the possession in the first half, something we've seen from Penn FC during this entire home stretch. They pretty much controlled possession against most of their opponents, neither goalie having to do a lot as far as saves. The next home match is the last home match for both these teams on the season. Red Bulls 2 will host the Pittsburgh Riverhounds this Sunday. That is a 5 o'clock start time. They play their games at Montclair State University Soccer Park. And as you can see there, Red Bulls and NewYorkRedBulls.com is where you go for tickets for that matchup. For Penn FC, they'll be back here on Saturday. It'll be a 7 o'clock start time. I'm sure those fans will be back here. Youngins will come back out and see Penn FC close up the season against Toronto FC 2 in a game that is not going to mean anything as far as the standings, but it's going to mean a lot for, I think, a lot of the fans here in this Harrisburg and surrounding area of the capital city of Pennsylvania, with this team dropping out of USL for a year and coming back. The plan is in 2020 with the League One.
Absolutely. I mean, I would hope to think that they could fill the park up to wish these guys off for the season. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, it's going to be a long year, but they'll be able to put themselves in a position to not rebrand everything, Brian, but try to figure out again where they went wrong, what they can do better. I mean, we can always improve in, you know, in everything that we do. So in this situation, what can they do to really knock this thing out of the park when they come back to play in USL 1?
We'll see if there are any substitutions. One person who cannot substitute tonight for the New York Red Bulls 2 franchise is Anatole Bertrand-Abang. He was red carded in their last game, and the league laid down a 3-game suspension to him. So he had a goal in the first half against North Carolina FC and then got red carded towards halftime. And the 3-game suspension will carry not just through the Penn FC game and the Riverhounds, but also the first-round playoff game as well. So Abang did not make the league very happy, and now we'll get to watch and see if his team on the road in their first-round playoff game, if they make it, he would have to watch that one as well, not being available in that game.
Well, that must have been a brutal tackle.
They are doing a little bit of repair right now to the net on the far side. So that's why they have delayed the start here of the second half. And it gives us an opportunity to take another check. See up there, Kenny Tribbett. He's out with an arm injury. Assuming he's out for the rest of the year. That happened a couple weeks ago on a hard fall. A little bit of repair from our referees. Other guys who are out, Tommy Heinemann's been out for at least over half the season now with an upper body injury. Amaro Stock, we always saw him at the half with his rehab. That has continued. And that is the Penn FC injury report right now. This Penn FC team, 9-14-9 on the season, has locked up 13th on the year as far as their standings are concerned. Unless they win both games, then they could technically move up. They will not drop below 13th overall on the season. And they are currently 5-7-3 at home, 4-7-6 away. So really not a lot of difference between home and away for this team this season. Red Bulls too, they play very well at home. 10-3-3, that's their road record that's going to get them in trouble, and the fact that they're going to be on the road for the duration of the playoffs is not going to be helpful to them. We're underway here in the second half. Red Bulls 2 with it first. That is Stauffer. Trying to tow it forward, and Hawkins, the left footer, will play it back up to midfield. There's the birthday boy, Hassan Nadam. He'll play it all the way back to his keeper, Evan Lauro. Played up into the Penn FC half. Penn FC will send it right back in. Resend, who has a yellow card already, gets the foot high. One thing he will not do is he is not going to back down. He is a spunky player, 25-year-old out of Connecticut, making his 12th start of the season, his 19th appearance. And Jordan Scarlett holding him off, and the foot got a little high.
Yeah, he definitely caught him with his shin, right below his chin like that.
You got to be careful, especially with the card already.
Yeah.
One thing this Penn FC team has not experienced this year is going down a man due to a red card. Not seen that yet this year. Zend is a player who, normally if he starts, he goes about 60 or so. Very seldom has gone much more than that. Scarlett is okay. We're back to action. Morrow sends it all the way down into the Penn FC end. Aganaga turns on it, but can't keep it. Here's Ramirez, the left-footed Honduran. Playing it forward, Casana's offside. Had a step on the Dom before he was allowed. So it'll be the restart coming up for New York. In a game of great importance for the Red Bulls here. And they have an eye, at least somewhere, towards Louisville City, North Carolina FC game. Currently in the 31st minute, still scoreless there. Penn FC's goal was in the 25th minute by Miguel Jaime. And for the Red Bulls, it was Jared Stroud who would equalize in the 32nd minute with his 6th goal of the season. We start coming up for Penn FC. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. Glad you could join us this evening on ESPN Plus for this USL matchup. We'll have one more for you as the season goes on. There's a miss, and White plays it back. Hawkins did a good job of getting back after his miscue. And Penn FC is able to get it over the near sideline for a throw. That was almost very dangerous, but instead Stauffer will play it back. Here's Aganaga. Turning inside and not finding anyone for the Red Bulls. And Penn FC just plays the ball long, hoping that Lucky can run onto it. The Dom is there first. Two guys giving chase. Hawkins off his head. Barone to the near side, plays it long. Both his guys were offside. The ball will be headed back to Lauro. About what time would you expect substitutions from either bench, Larry?
Well, at this pace, I mean, right now, Brian, I mean, neither team is really looking to build much up out of the back, so it's pretty much been a direct ball into the offensive third. Nobody's really running that much yet, but more than, I would say probably around the 60th, 65th minute mark when you're maybe looking to put some fresh legs on. I mean, if I'm New York, I'm looking for an answer because I need the 3 points, you know, and if I'm Penn FC, I certainly am going to look to see, you know, who's knackered first, but right now nobody seems to really have been in a situation where anybody really looks like they're putting an exuberant amount of energy in to where I have to look at the 60 or 65th mark. That would be my first guess.
Let's take a look at the possible substitutions for Penn FC. That is Haruna Shaibu, Pedro Gaval, Marco Franco, Prince Baffo, who has been a frequent substitute for Raul Voss this year, Fabio De Sousa, and I would not be surprised also to potentially see Aaron Dennis at some point in this game and give them some fresh legs into the attack. Take a look at the Red Bulls bench in a moment, but right now overlapping is Bond down the left side. Has it towed away from him, and now an opportunity at the other end to counter for the Red Bulls. Bond bumps into Aganaga. Nothing called behind the play. Menjivar is obstructed by White and fouled. take a look at that Red Bulls bench with Ethan Cutler, Kevin Politz, Alan Yanis, Andrew Teneri, Armando Moreno, and Tom Barlow. Barlow I would expect, Teneri I would expect, and who knows who else you might see as well off of John Woniak's bench. Benjavar trying to turn, double team, loses the ball. A lot of white jerseys there. So Penn FC can win it, they can find an opening. And there it is to Ramirez. A little 1-2 down the side, played with Menjivar, and now the left-footed Honduran will cross. Deflects back. Here's a chance for Josend. And can't get it clean.
See, to me, Brian, this is much better play by Penn FC, trying to keep things in tighter spaces, looking for small combinations, maintaining possession of the ball, playing these longer balls, and you're going to see it here. Just nice swirled ball in. And again, dangerous ball. Sit at the top of the box. Just a little unfortunate on the finish, but much better on the play, keeping the ball, opposed to these longer balls that they're looking for a skim on. To me, it's obviously a little bit more aesthetic on the eye, but in the same token, I mean, you're maintaining a better possession and a higher percentage of scoring opportunities.
Ball sent down in the New York end. There's Resend turning. Cannot win. Here's Nadam. It's past Kasana. And it's sent back over the near sideline by Penn FC. This Penn FC team on the season, one of the problems they've had is a shortage of goals at times. The Red Bulls have scored 66 goals on the season, Penn FC with just 37 of them. And when you're scoring maybe about one goal, a little bit more than that a game, as we have a foul called against Penn FC. That's going to be Jaime getting the call there. It is. When you're only scoring a little over a goal a game, it really puts a ton of pressure on your back line. With only 7 clean sheets on the season, that's not going to be happening very often.
And it certainly changes the way you have to play as well. I mean, you know, maybe at times they've had to resort to a little bit more direct play, trying to find the way in behind the back four. But again, I'm just a huge fan of, you know, trying to maintain possession, playing quickly, playing in tight spaces, trying to combine up and around the 18. I don't see a lot of taller, bigger players for Penn FC, so that skim ball to me just isn't there.
Here comes an opportunity off of the foul, headed by Penn FC. Out front, Stauffer can't get a shot away. He's calling for a foul. Our official says no, and Stauffer feeling the effects of the challenge by Kasana behind the play. They will look to help him up. Let's take a look at this one again. Stauffer, the first touch got a little bit further away from him. Lucky never stopped, and I'm going to say that he has a beef there.
I'll tell you what, that was it. The rear 2 cleats going right on the top of his toes, and that is not a good feeling.
So this Penn FC, the beneficiary of that situation. They'll have a throw in on the far side. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. And we've got a foul called against Aguinaga. Spaniard whistled for that one, and here comes Penn FC trying to restart quickly. Hawkins sends it into the box. A bit of a size mismatch, but until the last moment, Miguel Jaime had done well at 5'8" in holding off and forcing a bad touch from 6'4" Hassan Nadam. And then the last little tug was enough to not get the corner kick out of it.
That was a little bit better from Penn FC, Brian, as they were building out of the back and they were keeping it small. Now the last ball, again, you're right, that was a major mismatch, and I don't know if I'm looking to play that ball into him in the air like that, but much better. They need to play at a bit of a higher tempo also. That's the one thing that I think they can find their way in behind the lines. If they can play a little bit quicker, a little sharper, maybe a little cleaner on their touch, and find the way in, but the tempo has got to rise.
Stroud is upset about that call. Didn't feel he did anything to incur that whistle, but it will give a restart to Penn FC here in the 55th minute. 1-1, goals by Miguel Jaime of Penn FC, Jared Stroud of New York Red Bulls 2. Lemma finds Stroud over on that left side, matched up against Bond. Sends it to the near side. Opportunity here for Caceres. Down this right-hand side, Lucas Stauffer pickpocketed by Barone. Barone can't get it all the way back. Lemma Barone challenges Stauffer. Aganaga looking to spring Stauffer down the side. And a goal kick is won off the play by Hawkins to drill it off of the onrushing Stauffer. Still have substitutes for both teams warming up behind their respective benches. See another kick from Sean Lewis. FC playing with the ball a little bit in the back. They are able to get it forward. Lucky with it. Sends it. A little bit of room for the Brazilian, Paulo Jr. Over on that far side. Turns on his man, sends in the box. Lucky is there. Heads it off the crossbar. And it comes out. Headed out of danger for a moment by Red Bulls 2. Not done yet. Ramirez tries to cross. Nobody home on the backside. Bond will try to play it right back in. Here's a chance. Resend chests it down. And the Red Bulls play it over top of their keeper as Lemma was looking for Loro to come out. He did not. But here, Larry, is a great chance for Lucky Kasana off the foot of Paulo Jr.
What a great ball whipped in. Maybe a little too tall for him as the ball's coming in. Lucky might have jumped a little early. But again, that came off a very good buildup for Penn FC coming out of the back. They were connecting some passes. You had mentioned about maybe a short ball coming in. I like it. They're playing with confidence.
Here comes Menjivar's in-swinger, this time from the near side, but as they've switched fields, now his right foot will pull it inside. Penn FC looking to crowd the box and crowd around the keeper. Actually, it's the white jerseys who are doing a little bit more of that right now than Penn FC is. Menjivar chips it, looking near side, punched away by Loro and cleared by Aganaga. And here's a great run by Caceres and cleaned up nicely on the backside by Jaime. Can Penn FC come away with it? Offside is the call. And they're going to say, they're going to wave it off. No, they are going to play it. So it is going to be an offside whistled against New York Red Bulls 2. So Penn FC with it. Kasana has gotten a little bit more opportunity here in this second half. We saw him just knock one off the crossbar. Now a little 1-2 from Paulo Jr. into the corner. Trying to shield it. Kasana wins it, goes down, and that will be a foul called against the Red Bulls and a yellow card shown on the inside to Jordan Scarlett.
Brian, this is all Kasana. He comes back, finding the game now. He's starting to come back, getting the ball at his feet, looking for a little combination opportunity. Little dangerous on the 18 out there, looking to take him on, playing with a bit of a freedom. And you're going to see right here, he's going to battle hard. He's going to go hard. He's going to get the foul out of it.
Good job of drawing that one. And it's going to be the left footer, Walter Ramirez, who has an assist on Jaime's goal earlier. He'll bend a first set piece for him tonight. Looking to send people in, pushes everybody up. Jaime will fire, drills it into the mix. Venter sends it back. Resend tries to volley it, and that's well high. So a couple of opportunities there for Penn FC. And the other player that's down now, it's Kyle Venter of Penn FC who remains down. And that is a position right now that Penn FC, quite honestly, does not have center backs available, guys who are just flat out center backs by trade. You've got Ken Tribbett, who's already out with the arm injury. Thiago Calvano is not available for this game. He's not on the substitute bench. Venter is really the only other true center back that they have, which is part of the reason they've been going more of a three-man back line. Harry Hawkins would be the next closest thing to a center back that they have. Bruno Shaibu is very raw, very young, but is tall at 6'4", the Ghanaian who is on the substitutes bench. So they are hoping, Penn FC is, that Kyle Venter can respond to a little bit of water, a little bit of treatment, a little bit of talking.
I think Venter was the recipient of the shot from Jaime and took it maybe in the breadbasket. He lost his wind just a little bit, opportunity to get a little water, get a bit of a break.
And that's a guy who is used to being on the pitch at all times. When he played at New Mexico in college, was their minutes played leader all time in the University of New Mexico's history for that program. Ottawa Fury last 2 years, came here to Penn FC this year. He's actually with the LA Galaxy franchise in 2014 when he was drafted in the second round by them in the Super Draft. Played with Los Dos in the USL that year for a few games before moving on to Ottawa and then now this year to Penn FC. He is waved back onto the pitch, so Venter is back on. Kasana chasing down the right side, not going to get there. Throw-in coming up, and we have reached the 60-minute mark. We are now into the last third of the game, and we are going to see a substitute coming off the bench. And one of the guys I expected, Andrew Teneri, will check in for the Red Bulls. And they are having a problem with the board trying to tell us who it is. So Teneri will do so himself as he will go out and he will pull Steven Echeverria off the pitch. So it will be Teneri taking that central midfield position. The guy who has worn the captain's armband before this season for this team as well. So Teneri in his second year, we talked about him earlier being from Columbia University. His fellow Ivy Leaguer has the ball now. That is Kasana. Shot is wide. Opportunity that time for Penn FC as Miguel Jaime has gotten a lot more involved, taking those long shots from outside the box.
Well, you're going to see here, you're going to see Kasana doing a nice job of keeping the ball. Great vision to find Jaime. And again, I think the second half, for the most part, Kasana has really found his groove and found this game and is finding himself a big target up on top where now he's really engaged and involved.
He may not have been the man of the first half, but the man of the second half for sure right now with how dangerous he has been. Lucky Kasana for Penn FC. There's a chance now. Ball flicked in. A very reactive header that time for Penn FC. Interesting what they've done here, too, in the back. As Venter tries to recover, they've switched Hawkins back to the central position and have switched Venter back to the more of a right back look, at least on that series, and I think they're going to switch back to where they were. Penn FC, on the other hand, will make a substitution. Walter Ramirez, assist earlier, he will come out, and he will make way for Prince Bafo, the Ghanaian, making his 18th appearance, 14 of them off the substitutes bench for Raul Voss. He will take position over on that right wing, which now will bring Polo Jr. over to the left side, and here are those fresh legs right now working on that flank. Bafo turning, trying to get around his man, does not, and they're going to say it did not touch Nico De Vera on the way by. And that is right in front of the Capital City crew. Let's take another look. Oh, that definitely touched him.
How did he miss that?
No question on that one. That should have been a corner for Penn FC. Instead, hey, the Capital City crew got that one right. Yeah. As biased as their eyes usually are, they got that one right. Here's an opportunity for the Red Bulls at the other end, and they're definitely going to call that one on Jose Aguinaga. Penn FC goes down in the middle on that play. We're going to see once again, that's Barone over there. Barone, not the tallest of players, just 5'7". He is a New Yorker, and a guy who, number 17 for Penn FC. His father, Joe, is the chairman of the NPSL, and he previously coached the Brooklyn Italians, and that's a team that Sal made his debut with in 2016, had 2 goals in his 7 starts for that team. There's a chance for Kasana, cannot get all of it squeezed off the ball. Zen will play it wide. Here's the substitute, Bafo. Brooks turns to the inside. Left-footed shot is deflected and driven away by De Vera. Throw-in coming up for Penn FC. Follically challenged Jake Bond over there on the far side. To Rezen. Back to Bond. And the throw-in will be won by Penn FC. And they wanted a foul, and I would have to say I thought Bond's arm was up, and what's interesting about this, they had indicated it was going to be a throw-in, and then after the calls for it, it's not the wrong call. It's the extended arm in the back to Stroud. But I'm not sure when and who overruled the call, because both linesman and head referee at that point. Both indicated the throw in, and all of a sudden it changed.
Well, there's no question. You're right. That was definitely a foul. There's no question about that. But unfortunately, you're right. Both the AR and head official were a little late on that call.
There's Casana, runs that one down for Penn FC. 65th minute is over. Still 1-1. Jaime for Penn FC. Stroud for the Red Bulls. Have this thing equal. Teneri gets fouled by Menjivar on the backside of that play. He will look up. Chris Lemma, free kick specialist for this team. The Georgetown University product. Another one of those guys who came through the PDL with the New York Red Bulls U23 team. Spent 3 years with them before getting his opportunity this year. He'll bring that left footer towards goal. Lewis punches it weakly, doesn't get all of it, and it's a goal for New York Red Bulls 2 in the face of Brian White. Brian White with goal number 10 on the season for the New York Red Bulls 2, and this is just not good enough on the punch.
There's no question. That was unfortunate. He did come out. He did try to come out and punch it, but he's got to clear it with that. He got to it, but as you see here, just muffed the punch. And, of course, it's in the back of the net.
And an opportunity is not missed by Brian White, and just like that, New York Red Bulls 2 with a 67th minute goal, and now Penn FC looking a little ragged in the back. Here's an opportunity. Ball dropped off. Into the box it goes. On the run and worked off the ball. And here comes Penn FC the other way. They played over the near sideline, but the opportunity was there once again. Right after that goal, immediately exploding on that was Lucas Stauffer with an opportunity. He'll take the throw in now. Can Penn FC summon another goal to try to equalize? Continue to try to play spoiler. Aganaga. Nice 1-2, except he's offside.
That was a tremendous 1-2, as a matter of fact. I mean, it's pretty interesting that he was offside. I thought the ball was already in play as he made the run. As you're going to see here, he plays.
Oh, he's not offside.
Boy.
He is definitely not offside. They missed that one. Now the ball goes in the back of the net. They can't go back and change that anyways because the whistle impacts that play, but still, that's a very nice look that time for the New York team.
But you gotta love the creativity and a little bit of flair around the edge of the 18 there, trying to play that little combination just to create the space on the 2v2. And that's what I think, that if Penn FC can get themselves moving around the top of the 18, find their way in, something that's a little bit less predictable, they're gonna have another opportunity. They showed some composure early on in the second half, and now the New York Red Bulls have kind of taken over possession a little bit here. That goal certainly took a little bit of life out of them. But needless to say, in order for them to get back into it at this point in time, they're going to have to calm down. They got plenty of time. They can re-engage themselves back into this game again. But they're going to have to play a little bit more comfortable and confident with the ball.
Stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. Red Bulls 2 up 2-1. Looking for White. Did not connect with him that time. He's got what right now stands as the game winner off the mistake in the back for Brian White. Had a game-winning goal versus the Houston Dynamo in MLS play back on August 29th, so he is no stranger to the upper level. Has made 4 appearances with the big club this year, and this is one that his appearance with this team and this goal has the potential to put this team into the playoffs. Again, a win today and a loss by North Carolina FC to Louisville City would be enough for the Red Bulls 2 to clinch a playoff spot. So right now, Red Bulls 2 is in position for that. A beef there once again, and Larry, by your reaction, I think you agree with me that that was one that looked like it was played back by Penn FC with the foot.
He certainly misses. I mean,
oh, okay.
It misses his head.
It was an accidental.
It was accidental, but I can understand where New York could want to warrant that back.
played in the middle of the pitch. Can Penn FC create something here? Here's Menjivar. The side for Zend. It's a central run looking for Kasana. Nobody home there except Nadam of the Red Bulls. Ball played into the Penn FC half. Menjivar turns, got swung by somebody, no call there. Here comes Aguinaga, who has dispossessed the ball, sent right back, and here come the Red Bulls. Denari, the second half sub, gets it over to Aguinaga. Run being made by De Vera, gets it right back. This time his central ball, he's tripped by Stroud on the backside, is Venter, and Penn FC will get the restart. I would have to expect if Aaron Dennis is available, he is going to be the next guy off the Penn FC bench just because of his attacking prowess. And the fact that Penn FC now needs a goal in this one to equalize. Barone up to Paulo Jr. Played all the way back to Hawkins. And now back to Lewis. They'll switch the point of attack. Bond will head it forward. Baffo with some good pace gets around his man into the box. Baffo fires and deflected over for a corner kick for Penn FC. As in the Scarlet who got the last deflection for the Red Bulls. Can they do something with this one? As it will be Menjivar who will go over and take an in-swinger, especially with Ramirez out of the game. No question it's going to be Richard Menjivar who will take this. 8 assists on the year. A 9th could equalize this one. Ball played in. Kasana got behind everybody, got ahead to it, but not enough to put it on frame.
To me, Brian, it's always challenging when you're hitting an outswinger on a corner kick. It's a challenging ball unless you're really whipping it in with some pace to then get some pace back on and off your head. So it's up in the air, a little high, you know, makes it a little bit challenging. And the way Kasana's been getting on the ball lately, maybe I'm driving that ball opposed to hitting an outswinger.
Loro, who has been able to keep this a 1-goal night so far for Penn FC. Nice job by Nadam sending it back into the Penn FC end. And now the ball played. Here's an opportunity. Paulo Jr. has a step. Here comes the Brazilian with a shot with the left, and it's wide. And they're going to say it was not touched by anyone, but an opportunity there for the speedy Brazilian to try to equalize. Could not find the frame once again, and that's really been the story of this second half, Larry, the inability of Penn FC with these opportunities. It's a tough one there, but unable to get it on the mark.
Well, you know, it's a great through ball, opposed to playing a ball in the air where it's 50-50. It's a great through ball where Paulo could run onto this ball. But you're right. I mean, he's got to get that on frame, first of all. Second of all, New York did a nice job of getting back and covering the back post on that. The near post was covered by the goalkeeper. He slid. He had it to the back post as well. So, again, they need more opportunities like that. They need to get New York facing their own goal, challenging backwards, and get inside and get behind the line. But right now, New York's not taking their foot off the gas, Brian.
No, definitely not. And that's a dangerous play whistled against Miguel Jaime. Had the foot up high. They played the advantage initially, and once there wasn't much there, they pull it back to the spot of the foul where Chris Lemma will take this one, the 22-year-old New Jerseyan. A lot of players on this New York Red Bulls 2 team call New Jersey their home state, which is one of them making his 24th start of the year. Had an assist earlier, his 5th of the year, and now we'll put this one in the mix from near midfield. Into the 75th minute we go. Lemma looking, and Bond is able to out-jump White. The ball will hit the flag, and we'll go for a throw-in as it comes to the near side. Time is starting to run out on Penn FC. Just a little over 15 minutes plus stoppage time as you get a good look at Jake Bond. He's in his 2nd year with this team, made 10 starts a year ago with the Harrisburg City Islanders. Before that, he was playing with St. Louis FC, which is where he's from. Missouri area he calls home. Menjivar wisely allows that one to go over And we've got a little pushing and shoving as now the tempers flare a little bit. Menjivar and Stauffer. Menjivar wants to get the ball into play. Stauffer didn't want the ball into play. Menjivar with a little shove to try to get it started, and all this still delays things anyways. So we've got 15 to go here in Pennsylvania's capital city. 2-1, New York Red Bulls 2 with the lead on Penn FC. Who are the young standouts competing in the USL you need to know now? Check out the 2018 USL 20 under 20 throughout this week at USLsoccer.com as we reveal the best players aged 20 and under in the league this season. Lucas Stauffer, he's 23. He's not going to be on that list. Menjivar won't either. But I have a feeling Menjivar is going to have a job somewhere next year. He's 27 years old, the Californian, and has played 41 times for his national team in El Salvador. The other thing that's wild about Mr. Menjivar, back in 2012, one of my favorite U.S. Open Cup runs of all time was by Cal FC with head coach Eric Winalda. An amateur side that year, they made a good run into the round of 16, and Richard Menjivar was one of the players on that team with Eric Winalda.
That's a definite blast from the past. One of the all-time leading goal scorers for the United States national team. One of the Fox analysts.
Indeed. I got to be honest with you. I love his stuff.
Hey,
I might be one of the few, but
he says it the way it is. You're either going to like him or you're going to hate him. There is no other way around it.
Down the far side, opportunity. Good turn that time on that far side. Jaime has been very active in this one. Couldn't get through. Still, no movement from the Penn FC bench, which surprises me at this point that they haven't tried something here to change up the attack. Throw-in coming up for Penn FC.
Well, right now, New York is definitely keeping their foot on the gas. They're not satisfied with just a 2-1 lead, and they're not going to just sit in. It looks like they're really trying to press high as well. And Penn FC's got to find an answer somewhere. I still think it's going to be small on the ground, somewhere where you can find a penetrating ball. Personal opinion, because that's what's being given right now.
And there's going to be a foul against the Red Bulls as another dangerous run being made down that far side. Great job that time. And actually, I did not see him come in. That is Fabio De Sousa, who is in the game now for Penn FC. Just his second appearance of the game. So that is a sub that was made by Penn FC. Because we don't have a board on the other side, he was able to sneak in unbeknownst to us. But he draws the foul and a dangerous free kick opportunity for the home side. As we leave the 78th minute of play, Menjivar to take it. Sends it near post. Hit Kasana in the back of the leg. Wasn't able to do anything with it. And then the ball sent all the way back in and over by Miguel Jaime.
Brian, that was the entry pass of all entry passes right here. Curls it in hard, and it did hit Kasana on the back side of his right knee.
And I don't know if Paulo Jr. got a nick to that on the way in. He had the first chance. Now, it didn't look like it, but everyone overran it just enough that it stays out of the New York Red Bulls net.
That was a tremendous entry pass, one of which that should have absolutely evened this game up.
We highlighted Richard Menjivar for good reason in our pregame. That was because of his ability to put that pinpoint pass on. So we also have a substitute for the Red Bulls too, as Tom Barlow. We highlighted him because of his ability off the bench. He is in the game now. He is a guy who scored the game-winning goal, a man down against North Carolina FC on Saturday, and earlier in the game between Penn FC and New York Red Bulls 2, he was able to score a goal in that contest, so he has been hot lately. Foul called, Stroud goes down. De Sousa will be admonished by the referee. You see Stroud over there. De Sousa clips him from behind, a little too aggressive on it. And a dangerous restart coming up for the New York team.
I don't think there's really a need to really press that hard. I mean, obviously he's got position on you. But again, you know, if you get any kind of hit, any kind of body on you at that point, you're looking at a restart, which now is in a very dangerous area, and it's proven to be in a dangerous area for New York all night.
And Barlow, the substitute, is a guy who is a very dangerous player in the air with his size. 6'2", has 7 goals on the season. Hat trick back on August the 25th against no slouch. You scored a hat trick against the Charleston Battery, you're doing something.
So, you know, if they're bringing a guy like this in late in the game, the thought process, I am sure, to me would be they're a little worn down in the back, they're tired, they've been defending for the most part of the second half, so now you're bringing a guy that you know is a sniper that can score.
And the Iron Man, Richard Menjivar, for Penn FC, is going to leave the contest here in the 81st minute. And the last substitute will come on, and that will be Haruna Shaibu. At 6'4", gives them good size. Interested to see what their plan is, because he has been playing more defensively than anything else. What Penn FC needs now is goals.
Well, if you're bringing a 6'4" player in right now, you're going to probably be looking for either a skim head or something into him where he can skim on, or balls deep in the box for him to get his head on it.
Lemma looking, ball bounces all the way through. He had 3 different runners all around that play, unable to keep it in there as Scarlett on the far side. So he'll bring the ball with him because he is one of the center backs. He needs to get all the way back. So Penn FC out of substitutes. We will not see Aaron Dennis tonight. Throw-in coming up. Still a little over 8+ stoppage time for Penn FC to try to equalize. By the way, we have a scoring update. North Carolina FC has scored. Daniel Rios, I believe it's his 18th goal of the season, has put them ahead of Louisville City as they're in the second half now. Ball played in, harmless shot that time, and Laura will fall on it to make sure it takes a little bit more time off the foot of D'Souza.
Yeah, they'll take that all day long. I mean, he missed an opportunity to take a good hard touch forward and missed that opportunity and then brought it in too soft. They'll take it all day long.
So what that means essentially for New York Red Bulls too, even with the win here, we're going to have a foul whistled against Penn FC on the far side. Coach Wolniak is absolutely incensed right now, wants a card. I want to tell you right now, he's going to get it based on everything else that's happened in this game, because when they've yelled, anyone has yelled, we've seen something produced. D'Souza will pick up the yellow card. I'm not saying it wasn't a yellow card foul. I'm saying anytime we've seen a little bit of extra noise from either side, we've had a card, that is warranted. And I understand 100%. I've seen red for something like that before with the elbow up in the jaw.
And to me, I mean, Brian, that to me is, you know, obviously you're trying to keep the ball, in play, but to me, it's a little reckless. I mean, he's flailing his arms around. He certainly feels it off his face. He's going to go down. You have no choice but to call that. You have no choice.
D'Souza is 20 years old. Again, I'm saying making his second appearance of the season for Penn FC. You see there in our graphic, the 2 New York Red Bulls 2 goals. Stroud in the 32nd, and what stands as the game winner right now off the foot of Brian White in the 66th minute. Stroud, after going down, they're going to take their time. No question about that.
A little bit of gamemanship there. I mean, they're certainly put a little water in your face, taking a break. They're going to add the time on, but still it takes a bit of any momentum that was going on right there. But going back to what you said about D'Souza, it's his second appearance of the year. So, of course, he's trying to audition for other opportunities, trying to put himself in a position to kind of make a mark for himself. But this is certainly not the way to do it. You know, if he ends up with a red out of that, then he puts his team in even more harm's way.
Paulo Jr. able to win the ball over here. But Lemma now trying to finish it. Lewis able to get over top of that, doesn't allow the rebound to get away.
Lemma's been dangerous tonight, Brian. Lemma's been dangerous on restarts. He's been dangerous on the attack. Not afraid to pull the trigger whatsoever.
Baffo. And we're going to have a foul called as D'Souza's speed is able to win a foul behind the play. I think this time they're going to end up getting Caceres with this one. See from the backside and just grabbed a hold of him on the way by. Caceres' father, I would assume that would be Christian Caceres Sr., 28 caps for this Venezuelan national team. Caceres, back on August 29th, when the Red Bulls were in need of some bodies, got a start for them against the Houston Dynamo that day. That was a win for the Red Bulls parent team. Here's an opportunity, and there's a ball that is well above everybody and does no good for Penn FC.
Again, you know, I mean, to me, I'm not sure he's the right guy on the ball right there. My opinion again, but, you know, he's already had a couple fouls. He's a little hyped up, just got fouled again, and now he goes and tries to launch a ball inside the 18. You know, you got to give your team a chance. That is certainly not giving them an opportunity. That was no question an attempt to score, and if the goal was about 20 feet high, he had a shot. Throw-in coming up for the Red Bulls. So we are less than 5 minutes away from stoppage time. And the Red Bulls have a 2-1 advantage on Penn FC in the penultimate regular season contest for both these squads. They'll finish up this weekend. Penn FC on Saturday against Toronto FC. And the Red Bulls, too, will finish up at home against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Penn FC, Cassana pressured enough to win it. And here they come. Cassana down the left side. Toes it back, loses it. Can they run back to it? They cannot, as Prince Baffo was too far. Lemma, concerned just with drilling the ball up the field, does so. Good chase made as Barlow, the substitute, has fresh legs to try to chase that down, at least pressure things. Lewis gets around one, hesitates, comes up the near side. Here comes an opportunity for Penn FC on the throw near midfield. It'll be Barone. Jaime. Look, thought he was going to try to switch the point of attack, probably should have, as the Red Bulls get the possession instead. Here's Teneri. Looking to cross, looking for Barlow, unable to get past Venter. Bond chases down on the other side, and Penn FC, because of where the ball spun, it ends up being a throw-in all the way back in the corner. Dangerous run here, Brian. He cuts in. Barlow just misses the ball on top of the 6. Both substitutions in the second half, both fresh legs. Certainly can see why they're both coming in now when they did. And here comes a chance again. Chance to finish it off, and they do! Red Bulls 2 finishes it off with a goal from Jose Aguinaga. His 6th of the season for the Spaniard, and it's 3-1 in favor of New York Red Bulls 2 here in the 88th minute. There's too many bodies here, Larry, for Penn FC to defend. Just a great individual effort. I mean, tremendous composure. He picks up the pieces right here, opens up his hips, easy goal. And Stroud, quite possibly the man of the match for the Red Bulls. He's the guy who started that run, got dispossessed on the run, but just into the path of Aguinaga. And that ends up being Aguinaga's curtain call for the game, as he will check out. Final substitute comes in for John Wolniak, as they will bring into the contest another defender, that being Kevin Politz, a homegrown player for this Red Bulls 2 team, who played his college ball at Wake Forest University. My daughter's alma mater. My daughter went there as well. Demon Deacon. Demon Deacon. Definitely one of my favorite mascots in all of college sports. I got my picture taken with him a couple times. Couldn't help myself. It's unique. There's no question about that. It's an interesting history about that. If you ever look at how they got the name Demon Deacons, it's really quite interesting. You know, I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. I read about it, and it was between them and Duke, kind of how it came about. Bond is shown a yellow, and the frustration now boiling over. Stroud has been basically the target, as once again he holds his head. Earlier he got elbowed by D'Souza. This time he gets bumped in the noggin by Bond, and both have produced yellow cards against Penn FC. We'll say it again because it might be the only drama left in this game, because I just don't see Penn FC being able to put 2 goals up in the end of this contest, how the area has been taken out of their sails. But Penn FC, the only team in the USL who has not been red carded this season. And if the angst that they have right now continues to boil over, that could change with the number of yellow cards that are already out there. Well, at this point, I mean, they're down 2 goals, and I certainly don't advocate, not playing. But at this point, to get a card or to get a yellow card, red card, is going to incur a fine, which you don't want. Correct. it's not necessary at this point.
That's the thing that folks usually forget about the red cards, that the league is not going to look kindly upon a red card. They will fine, they will suspend for those sort of things. We're going to have a foul called against Penn FC as that ball just hung on the back line. And we have now hit stoppage time.
We just saw a little frustration right there because as he was trying to shepherd the ball off, you saw the Penn FC player look like Prince to me and decides to just double his arms and push him straight over.
1 minute of stoppage time is what we're adding to the end of the second half, which I am 100% with Raul Voss, who just goes to the fourth official and says, "You've got to be kidding me. How can there only be 1 minute of stoppage time?" But realistically right now, it really is not going to change the outcome of this contest. The ball sent up the field by Hawkins. The Red Bulls, too, will now become spectators for the rest of this game and also for the rest of the week until their game on Sunday. It is entirely possible that they will already have a playoff spot locked up for them when they play the Riverhounds on Sunday. But in order to do that, what they needed to do was get the job done on the road here tonight, and for only the second time this year, the New York Red Bulls, too, will win a game on the road as they come to Penn FC and defeat the Pennsylvania side by a final score of 3-1. So the Red Bulls will move up the charts. With this win, they tie the Indy 11 in the 5th place spot. But with the goal differential, it is the Red Bulls who now have jumped into 5th place with this win. So a big win for them. For Penn FC, really doesn't affect anything for their season-long outlook, as they will stay at 36 points and will lock themselves into 13th place in the USL's Eastern Conference. We're going to step out for a break. A final wrap comes up after this. New York Red Bulls 2 defeat Penn FC by a final of 3-1 here on ESPN+. Jason Johnson, you've got
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invicta has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invicta is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invicta, providing affordable HD video solutions.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
And welcome back one final time here to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Larry Julius. New York Red Bulls 2 with a 3-1 win tonight over Penn FC. It started great for the home team as you had an early goal from Miguel Jaime, his second of the season. And that was off the assist from Walter Ramirez, but from that point on, it was all the road team. As first, Stroud off the assist from Lemma. Then Lemma sends one in. It gets to the box, punched away, but Brian White will follow it with the goal that ends up being the game winner, and then laid on. Jose Aguinaga wraps it up with that goal. You take a look at the stats here. 17 shots for Penn FC. Here's the problem. How many of them were on frame? Only one save tonight for Evan Lauro in the New York Red Bulls 2 net. And that shows you that you can have a lot of shots, but if they're not actually forcing saves, it doesn't really do much for you.
Well, if there's no quality, I mean, again, there were some balls that were played in that you would want all day long. You know what I mean? There were some balls that were flighted in that you were hoping that you would get from them. And that, to me, even though it's on frame, isn't really a shot. It's more of a pass back.
So the Red Bulls 2, victorious in this one. They will next play Sunday against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds for Penn FC. Our last home match will be this Saturday, October the 13th, as they play out the string against Toronto FC 2. That's a 7 o'clock start time right back here at FNB Field as they finish the home stretch. 9 straight home games ends on Saturday, and for tickets, pennfc.com is where you want to go. For the Red Bulls 2, they improve on the season to 12-8-13. They now have 49 points. 5th place is where they are technically right now. And on a Cameron Lancaster goal, his 23rd of the season for Louisville City, they are now equalized with North Carolina FC. If that result continues or Louisville City wins that game, the Red Bulls have clinched the playoff spot, as would the Indy 11. Penn FC, they have 1 game left to go. I'd like to thank Larry Julius for joining me today. This is Brian Kaiser. That's a big thank you to everybody in the truck doing a great job sending our pictures out to everybody. Our final score, New York Red Bulls 2-3, Penn FC 1. That's your final here from FNB Field. You're watching it here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.